up on today's show, do we have a true competition for the running back one position on your Seattle Seahawks? Is Zach Charbonnet pushing Kenneth Walker III to take over as the lead back in Seattle? We'll discuss that coming up in just a bit. Also, Uchenna Nwosu, he is back. He is healthy, better than ever, and he's expected to play a vital role on this Seahawks defense in 2024. We'll tell you about the expectations for Uchenna Nwosu coming up in just a bit. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us here on today's show. 12s, I need your help. I am getting very, very close to 2,000 followers on the gram, IG, Instagram, at Tyler Jones Live, and I need your help. Can I get to 2,000 followers today? The first 10 people that follow me on Instagram from today's show, I'm going to follow you back. And then hopefully we get to 2,000 followers before it's all said and done. Go ahead and follow me. Like all my photos. That'd certainly be appreciated. For continuing Seahawks coverage beyond just what you see on the show, go check me out on IG. You'll be glad you did. Could Zach Charbonnet be the new RB1 for the Seattle Seahawks? It is certainly worthy of discussion. Kenneth Walker has been very solid the last two seasons, but Zach Charbonnet had a decent year of his own last year and showed enough flashes where the Seahawks have to consider, is this an open competition between the two of them with a new coaching staff in place for Charbonnet potentially to take over as the top guy for Seattle? Mike Salk of Seattle Sports said the following, bringing this up. Give me any reason. Why not? They're both 23 years old. They're both second-round picks. There is a new offensive regime and new coaching staff. And while Ken has been good, there's not so much equity there and greatness that you say, no, I'm sorry, Zach, you're going to have to play second fiddle. I don't think anyone's really had much of a conversation about whether or not Charbonnet is going to be the lead back when it's all said and done, but I think he probably feels like he's got an opportunity to do that. And the numbers from last year certainly back up the idea of a competition. It's not like he was the better running back, but it's not like there was also such a big difference that you would say no. I think there is a fair argument to be made that Charbonnet deserves a chance to be the guy in the Seahawks backfield. You guys know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Competition makes everybody better. To me, I don't fear the idea of having an open competition between these two backs to see who is going to be the workhorse, the bell cow, if you will. Charbonnet last year, a second-round pick out of UCLA, previously played with the Michigan Wolverines, played in 16 games last season with 2 starts, and was second on the team in rushing with 462 yards. He was solid, and when Kenneth Walker went down and Zach Charbonnet had to step in, the rushing game didn't really miss a beat. Charbonnet got the job done, and it was very solid for Seattle. You compare the statistics between the two last year, and Kenneth Walker got double the carries Zach Charbonnet did, but Charbonnet was better per average, 4.3 compared to 4.1. Kenneth Walker had more touchdowns with 8 and more yards with 905. He also had a bigger long, a 45, compared to Charbonnet, who had the 23. I think heading into this year, there is a slight edge to Kenneth Walker as the guy that's been around for a bit, just being a year older with this team, playing with Gino and DK and Tyler and those guys, gives him a little bit of advantage. But I don't think it's significant between him and Zach Charbonnet. I don't think the gap is that far between these two when you talk about talent level and their abilities on the football field. At the end of the day, this isn't the sexy answer, but here's the reality for the Seattle Seahawks when you compare these two. The Seahawks will be most successful if they can get the most out of both running backs, if they both can play at a high level, and if you get to the point where the starter does not matter, where you say, you know what, we use both guys, we use them equally, we max them out, and they're both pivotal in this offense. Maybe it's where they're both on the field at the same time. Maybe they're splitting the load 50-50. To me, that's the best case scenario where they're interchangeable, where they're both playing at a high level where it doesn't matter between the two. And to me, I very well could see that happening between these two running backs in 2024. I feel very good about both of them. But slight edge to Kenneth Walker, but I think both guys are very good. And you also think about, too, Ryan Grubb wants these running backs to be able to be pass catchers out of the backfield. And both K9 and Zach are more than capable of doing so. You look at the running back depth chart. Walker and Charbonnet, your top two backs. We should see more Kenny McIntosh this year. I do like George Holani, the undrafted free agent out of Boise State. I think he's got a decent chance to make the roster as well. But at the end of the day, this is one of the best running back units in all of football. And I think you're going to like what you see out of both these guys. They will make each other better. If you had to pick an RB1, which one would you rather roll with? Would you rather roll with Kenneth Walker III, or would you rather roll with Zach Charbonnet? Type K9 for Kenneth Walker III. Type Zach for Zach Charbonnet. Let us know in the comments section below. Seahawks Today is closing in on 53,000 subscribers here on the channel. Join us each and every day for daily news and rumors, live shows not just once but twice a week. We're going to do watch parties for every game this season. We got Madden Sims this whole offseason for every single Seahawks game. We're bringing you breaking news anytime the Seahawks make a trade or a signing. We're going to break it all down for you here on the channel. This is why you subscribe to Seahawks Today. Join the family. If you're a real member of the 12s, you got to be subscribed to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Guess who's back? Back again. Uchenna Nwosu makes his triumphant return to the Seattle Seahawks in 2024 after missing most of last season. And now he comes into a new defense. Mike Macdonald introducing a new system here in Seattle. And Uchenna Nwosu has high expectations. He is going to play a pivotal role in the Seahawks defense, specifically the run defense for Seattle this year. A couple notes for you. Let's give you a little give me that stat time here on Seahawks Today. If you go back to last season, from weeks 8 to 18, when Uchenna Nwosu was hurt when he was sidelined, Seattle gave up 134.2 rushing yards per game. That's a lot. On an average of 26.4 carries. That's over 5 yards per carry. So every other run play was a first down. In a nutshell, that ain't good. Now, take that a step further. 2.13 yards, that's the number. That's how many more yards that opposing teams were getting on the ground or with Uchenna Nwosu after the injury occurred. So 2.3 less before the injury. Opponents ran the ball more and ran the ball more effectively with Uchenna Nwosu out of the picture. Now taking it another step further. Let's dig in a little farther. Did you know the Seahawks defense gave up 100-plus rushing yards in 7 out of 11 games without Uchenna Nwosu last year? So I know I just threw a whole lot of numbers at you, but in a nutshell, the run defense was cheeks without Uchenna Nwosu on the field last year. Here's the measurements for yourself. 26th in opponent's rushing play percentage. 27th in opponent yards per rush. 29th in opponent rushes per game. 31st in opponent rushing yards per game. And 30th in opponent rushing touchdowns per game. So while many of you, when you think of Uchenna Nwosu, are going to focus on what he can do to get after the quarterback, he's very good at that. The difference he makes in stopping the run is a huge key, and that's a big deal in his return. Do you trust Seattle's run defense heading into this year? What do you think of this group heading into 2024? Do you believe in them or do you not? Type B for believe, type D for don't. We got more on Uchenna in just a moment. We want to hear from you guys. What do you think of that run defense? Do you believe or do you not? B for believe, D for don't. Byron Murphy jerseys are on sale now. Chatsports.com/Murphy. He'll wear the number 91, so just add a 9 to that one. You got the home jersey, the away jersey, got the alternate version as well. Got free shipping available as well at chatsports.com/Murphy. Go see for yourself. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Murphy to get yours today. Uchenna Nwosu, I believe, is the X factor on this Seahawks defense that could potentially take this unit to another level. He's that much of a difference maker. We showed you statistically how much worse off this Seahawks team was without Nwosu last year. You get him back, and at full strength 100%, that's a big difference for this Seahawks team. In 2018, he was a second-round pick out of USC by the Chargers. And in 2023, the first full-time season he had in Seattle was pretty good. He had career highs in total tackles and in sacks. But last season, it all came to a screeching halt when he had that season-ending torn pec and was ultimately placed on injured reserve for the rest of the way there. You look at his statistics of what he's done over the years, you can see 2022 season, his first in Seattle, was really good. 9.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, led the team in sacks that season with 12 tackles for loss as well and 66 tackles. He was off to a decent start to last year before the injury, as he had 16 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles there. Now, one theme that we've talked about on this program since Mike Macdonald took the Seahawks job was that they are looking for well-rounded football players. They're not looking for specialists. This isn't like basketball where, you know what, I'm going to go find that rebounder. I'm going to go find that rim protector or the 3-and-D guy. Mike Macdonald is asking everybody to be able to be complete football players and do everything. And Uchenna Nwosu is a good example of this. This is a guy that does well in run coverage, does well at getting after the quarterback. He is a well-rounded player. And I'll take Uchenna Nwosu on my team any day, and Mike Macdonald would do the same. You look at the numbers, according to the nerds at Pro Football Focus, of what he did over the last 4 seasons. You can see just solid across the board, right? Not bad, not great, just solid, consistent over the years. Defensive grade, 64 or better for 4 straight years. Run defense grade, 2 years of 70+. Coverage grades in the 60s. He had an 84 back in 2020 with the LA Chargers. And then with a guy that was under this old regime for the last 2 seasons, that's played for a different coach in Los Angeles, the question then becomes, okay, has he bought in to what Mike Macdonald is doing in Seattle? And all indications are that Uchenna Nwosu is all in on this Seattle Seahawks team and what Mike Macdonald has in store for 2024. Uchenna Nwosu had this to say a while back on the new coaching staff. Last year was kind of frustrating. Sometimes when you get change, it can bring out the best in everybody. I see a lot more smiles on people's faces. They're more happy. They're more energetic. I don't know if that's just because it's just the new year, new season, or it could be the coaching changes and new opportunity. But everybody is coming along together, and everybody's talking more. Everybody's hanging out more, and I feel like it's bringing the locker room closer. So some very good things to hear there from Uchenna Nwosu on that end. So let's ask you now here on Seahawks Today, will Uchenna Nwosu have a big year in 2024? What do you think? You got 2 options here. You type in Y for yes. You type in M for no. What do you think? Is this a big year for Nwosu or not? Follow me on IG at Tyler Jones Live for continuing Seahawks coverage. We will see you next time right here on Seattle Seahawks Today.